And that's what I think is discouraging many people because they think, hey, cool, Tekken looks cool as fuck, let's play it. And then they go online and they just get crushed. And then they're like,
Yeah,
oh, fuck.
but I think there's also a lot of things that they don't know that they should consider. It's like
Yeah,
not knowing what questions to ask. Like when you go online and you don't know input lag exists, right? Like
yeah,
if you play say against a 3 bar, you're so used to doing say you're somebody that plays Jin and you just go to his sample combos and that's all you know. It's perfectly fine. But when you're inputting it, you notice you're like, why am I not doing this correctly? Why doesn't this feel right or whatever, right? And you're like tripping over yourself because you don't know input lag
yeah.
exists. So as a new player, I wish Tekken was more not new player friendly, but more dumbed down. Like I don't like people that are elitist that are like, "Oh, you don't know how to do crouch dash fast enough. Oh, you can only do one." You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's important the more people play, the more people or the more better the game will be. Like,
That's that's interesting. This like your opinion differs from the majority, I think. The majority would say don't make it easier because I saw people complaining about Tekken becoming too easy.
mhm. Let me clarify when I say that. I want the game to be as accessible as possible, but I don't want the game itself to be easier. Like rage arts,
Yeah,
I wish rage arts were
I
gone.
know what
Rage
you mean.
drives are great, right? Because that's not something that takes up 30 seconds and does a stupid amount of damage.
Yeah.
Um, like if you do a rage drive, you have to know how to follow up with that rage drive or how to lead into it.
Yeah.
But um, I wish like going back to as much as I like don't really care for Mortal Kombat. I think Mortal Kombat 11 is probably I think it's a milestone in fighting games because they're it teaches you frame data. It teaches you cancels. It teaches you so many different things on a fundamental level that you can take from that and use it in whatever fighting game you want to go to. And uh it's it's not a tutorial, it's like a training it's like someone's training you how to play fighting games, not just how to play Mortal Kombat. And um it's I think I wish more games had not just frame data, but like like explaining why instead of being like, oh, this
Yeah.
frame is or this 10 frame. Like you could tell someone, oh, that's a 10 frame, but they'll be like, okay, what's the importance of that? You know?
I think that's a huge problem with Tekken as well, the lack of like almost any kind of tutorial. Like you go into
Mhm.
the game and you have no clue what's going on, so you gotta look stuff up on YouTube. And the guides and all are great, but it
Mhm.
should be in the game. Like for example, you take King's Giant Swing. You know you can
Yep.
tech roll it.
Mhm.
How should I know that? How should I know that I can do that? I
I
learned
feel
that
like
like a
when
month ago.
I feel like there's things I'm still learning about the game. It's so um it's gonna sound like I'm contradicting what I just explained, but I don't think the game itself should be like a um it shouldn't hold your hand. It should give you
Yeah.
the tools you need to figure stuff out. Like figuring out combos in the game or figuring out that you're like, "Oh man, I could sidestep this." Like, "What? This isn't track or something?" Like I think that's really fun, right?
Yeah.
It's like digging up gold.
I
You have because
I
you can tell your friends, you know.
yeah, I agree with that 100%, but the thing is, how would one even know that like a tech roll after a grab is even possible? Like it would be cool if they just say, "Hey, some throws are tech rollable." Like because
Mhm.
King, Eddie and Nina I think have those throws and you wouldn't know that you could do that any other
I
way
think that's
than seeing it on the internet.
I think that's probably the fun uh of our of the current timeline we live in is um like not looking stuff up, but like you care so much about something, you look up all you can, not because
Yeah.
you need to, but because you want to. And going back to what we're talking about, how the game kind of like giving you every tool you could possibly need without giving you the answers. Um, it should be like, how to explain it? I never really had to explain it before, I guess, but excuse me. Kind of like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of, because I have like almost every current fighting game for the generations, or for this generation. So I have like Blaze Blue, for example. I never
Yeah.
play it, but I got it and just to see what it was like. And I say that because I noticed that a lot of the some fighting, or not some, not all, sorry, a handful have they explain everything you need to know, and then they kind of give you like the tools. So hey, okay, you know how to do this, go online and figure it out, or go online and see how you would use it, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Tekken, it's like there's a lot of gatekeepers, and there's a lot of people that want railways for newcomers, but it's I think that Tekken itself will never be like on the same level of a game, because it'll never be like any other game.
Yeah.
And yeah.